Hi guys, James from DBG, and welcome to another showcase. Forgive me if I sound a little bit tired. It's because I am tired. I've gone back to work, and sitting on your arse for 3 months. Admittedly, I should have been doing exercise, but I wasn't doing exercise. Should have done, but I wasn't. Anyway, sitting on your arse for 3 months and then going back to a job that's actually quite physical, it actually takes it out of you a bit. So I'm a touch tired, but that's by the way. So, what do we have in front of us? We have 2 more units for my Horus Heresy 30k Ultramarines. Again, eBay purchases, again, cheaper than they would be. Well, the fact that the unit at the back doesn't actually have an official Forge World model, they are, we'll talk about them in a minute, but let's start with the unit at the front. The unit at the front are Invictus Suzerain, which have been called probably one of, if not the best unit in Warhammer 30k. Why, I hear you ask? Well, hopefully I do. Well, basically it's because they are elite, and they can also be taken as HQ. They come with Artificer Armor, which is a 2+ save. They come with a Boarding Shield, which is a 6+ invulnerable save against shooting and a 5+ invulnerable save against close combat. When they receive a charge, the Boarding Shield negates your opponent's charge bonuses, so the +1 attack for charging and having additional close combat weapons and rage and rampage. You don't get it. But the thing is, what they have this thing called the Legatine Axe, which is, I know, you do have to remember the 30k is based on 7th edition, not 8th edition. And I know we're going into 9th, but that's another whole can of worms. Actually, not a bad can of worms it looks, but anyway, can of worms. So, a Legatine Axe, it is +1 strength, so they're strength 5, which is very good. It means they're wounding other Marines on a 3+ instead of a 4+. They are AP2, which means that even Terminators won't get an armor save, they'll go straight through to their invulnerable. And on a 6+ to wound, or is it 6+ to hit? No, it's a 6+ to hit. They wound automatically. So, yeah, of course it's going to be 6+ to hit. I'm tired. So yeah, 6+ to hit, they wound automatically, and it strikes at initiative, which is so big in 30k because it uses the 7th edition initiative step, close combat. So yeah, these will go in initiative 4 after, because they normally end up being a bodyguard for your Praetor or something else. You chuck in the chaplain, you chuck in the apothecary, and then they're getting loads of rerolls and feel no pain and loads of other goodness, which is what I'm planning on doing. Anyway, so they're the Invictus Suzerain, and the ones at the back are the Fulmentaris Terminators. Now basically, before the Heresy, Rabute Gilliman saw some of the Iron Warriors, Iron Siege, or Siege Tyrant Terminators in action. I thought, that's a good idea. And he did the same thing. But there's loads of options for these guys. But they are all armed identically. They're all armed with combi bolters, power fists, and cyclone missile launchers. And the thing about these guys is they have a couple of upsides and a couple of downsides. The upsides are they are ballistic skill 5. Now remember, this is 7th, so that means they hit on a 2+, and they can fire both their weapon systems at the same time. So they can fire the combi bolters and the missile launchers at the same time. It has to be at the same target because this isn't 8th. And also, the number you have in the squad gives you a special rule. So I think if it's 3 or more, you get night fight, which is very situational. Basically means you ignore the penalties for fighting at night. 5 or more, you get tank hunter, which is very cool. Which basically means you get to re-roll your armor penetration dice. And when you've got missile launcher with crack missiles, that's very good. And then if you have 8 or more, you have the ability to minus cover saves. Now in 7th, cover saves are different, but I'm guessing you know that because you're watching this for a 30k thing. So the two, and that's cumulative. So these guys, there's 5 of them, they'll have night fight and tank hunter. If I manage to find some more, and they normally do come in 5s, they'll get the reduction in cover saves from my opponents, as well as tank hunter and night fight, which is very cool. The downside, the first one is, obviously as they die, you lose the special rules. The other downside is, they're bloody expensive. 5 of these guys, just 5 of them, costs 400 points. If you wanted a full squad of 10, it will cost you 750 points. In a 3,000 point game, that is a quarter of your army on 1 unit. Admittedly, it's a very good unit. It can stand at the back and shoot for days because it has cataphracti armor. There's a 2+ save and a 4+ invulnerable save. And if you want to be mad and put a Primus Medicae in there, they get a 5+ feel no pain as well. But they are so expensive. Effective, but so expensive. The Invictus Suzerain, 200 points for 5. Bearing in mind, they get the axe, which is amazing. They have a 2+ save, and they have the boarding shield, which is amazing as well. And you can also swap things out. They can have plasma pistols, and they can have thunder hammers and stuff for just a normal points increase. So these guys, they're awesome, and they're amazing value for your points. These guys, good, but bad for points. Anyway, so bear with me. I'm just going to have a sip of tea, and I'll try not to ramble on as long as I did in the previous one. So these guys are obviously resin, and they are Forge World. They're official Forge World, and they are very cool. I was thinking of something to say them, but I couldn't. So here's the first guy. If you notice, these guys are in Mark II armour. Oh yeah, they also have a bolt pistol. I forgot to mention that. They have a bolt pistol. These guys are in Mark II armour, Mark II Artificer armour, and obviously I've used the same sort of cartoon style. So anyway, I think I can describe it, of doing the brass work, because I've done brass, not gold, because I thought it would be different. Everyone does gold, so I did brass. I don't even notice that every shield is individual as well. Every body is individual. The heads and shoulder pads and backpacks are all identical. But everything else is all unique and individual. I have to say I do prefer the hexagonal shields. I know they're very much more like Roman scutums, but the Ultramarines are based on Imperial Rome, so what do you expect? Actually, this is a rather nice shield, but I do like that. The way the Ultima symbol goes over the top. And there's lots of laurels and what have you going on. Last but not least, this guy. Yeah, so there's my Invictus Suzerain. And now we're on to the Formataris. Now, they are just the plastic Castafracti Terminator kit with a resin, I believe. They're not recast, and I know that Forge World did resin Cyclone missile launchers for a while. As I said, I've got these on eBay, so I have no idea. So, here's the Sergeant. So, most people do the interleaved shoulder pads, one of them white, one of them blue. Again, I want a point of difference with my Ultramarines. I don't want them to look like everyone else's. So I did them all blue for a change. And I did the leather strappings hanging from the groin and the shoulders in a dark leather instead of red or white as well. Just again as a point of difference. There's no point looking at each individual one of these because they're all the same. The Chateau. I do like this one. I do like this pose. This isn't the Sergeant pose actually. If you've ever built the Cataphractia set. I just really like that pose. Anyway, so there you go. Those are the two units added to my 30k Ultramarines. I forgot to say. The Formataris, they are a heavy support choice. So that means this army doesn't actually have 4 heavy support choices. So if I want to use them in the game, I have to drop one of them. So if I drop the Predator and add both those units, I'm looking at 3,350 odd points. If I drop the heavy weapon squad with heavy bolters, I'm looking about 3,120 points. So yeah, I've broken the 3,000 point mark. So all I really need to do is add Guilliman and then a couple of transports. And these guys can have a Land Raider as a dedicated transport. And then I'm at 4k and I'll leave it there because otherwise it's just going to get massively out of hand and I've already got more. Well, actually, no, I don't. After lockdown, I've only got one thing left to paint. Oh, and the Necrons left to build, but Necrons can wait until 9th, quite frankly. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are with the Ultramarines. Almost at 3,500 points, which is nice. Anyway, if you're still with me, thank you. As usual, do check out the links and everything in the description for Goblin Gaming, White Shark Gaming, the others that I can never remember, Patreon as well. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay safe. I will catch you guys next time.